Kentucky Afield. Every week, Kentucky Afield brings you features on hunting and fishing across the state.
What a nice fish.
It's an opportunity to hopefully get that bird in the lake.
Hey, we got another one over here.
There he is. Ooh, a nice one too. Boy, he's healthy.
What do we got? That was awesome. Got the first jump.
Barely made it out of the field.
Got one big smallmouth.
Very nice.
Double point, they're in there.
There they go.
Look at that joker.
Woo!
That's a good one there. Look at that. Beautiful.
Whoa, this is a good one.
That's better than good, Chad. Hello, and welcome to Kentucky Afield. I'm your host, Chad Miles. Join us as we journey the Commonwealth in search of outdoor adventure. This week, we're headed out to Western Kentucky as we join in on a quail hunt. Then we're going to meet up with fisheries biologists to see what they're doing with a chainsaw to improve our fisheries habitat. But first, we're going to take a look back to 2022 and jump in a tree stand during the modern firearm season, right in the middle of rut. Well, after about an hour lunch, getting back into the woods, this morning, we saw several bucks, and most of the time they showed up 15-20 minutes after rattling. One of those bucks that crossed the field chasing a doe was a buck I've been seeing over and over for the last couple of years. Never in range with a bow, and it wasn't in range today with a rifle, but he's working our area and he's chasing does. So I'm gonna get back in the stand, and hopefully we get a chance and that deer comes back, because I sure would like to get an opportunity to take that deer and see what happens. Now that is a fresh scrape. This is about 80 yards from my stand. Almost looks like that buck is taking a garden rake and just pulled all that grass and piled it up. And you can literally smell the buck in this area. It's been hitting this pretty regularly. So the spot where I'm at is the same spot I muzzleloader hunted and the same spot I was at this morning. Now I have bow hunted here a few other times and on two different occasions. I've seen a pretty good buck right on this wood line. Both times it was later in the evening, so we got a wind that's blowing straight this way. Right the way I walked in, not getting near that little patch of woods that buck's hanging out. I know he's using this area because I can smell him in here, and there's some scrapes in this area as well. So hopefully we can get him to come and investigate this little field, because if he gets in this field, it should be an easy shot with a high-powered rifle. This property, even though it's farmed by the same farmer, it's actually two different landowners. There are some hunters over on the right-hand side, and they've got permission to be over there. This is just, I deal with the same exact things that everyone else deals with when it comes to gun hunting. You got to share the woods. You got to be respectful of other hunters. So we have a couple other people that are out here hunting as well on the right legally. Hopefully we can get him in here. We've had him here twice. Both times I had a bow in my hand. Couldn't make it happen. About 3:30. Been in here for a little while. No action just yet. It's getting dark, really dark by 6. So I'm gonna start doing some light calling, and hopefully if we have a deer that is in this patch of woods right here, we can make him make a move this direction. Deer. There's a small buck. Listen. You can hear him grunt. Here comes a doe. He's coming to check her out. That was really cool. That little buck showed up. Probably couldn't hear it, but I could hear it light grunts and walking around. Not interested in feeding at all, just smelling. And then this doe showed up. As soon as she hit that field, boy, he saw it. He was behind us. She saw that was a buck. She knew, all right, he's gonna pester the heck out of me. And she took off. Now, she's right. He's going to pester her. We could have filmed my two remaining tags right there. We've got another deer. Looks like a doe, about 80 yards. It's about 20 yards into the woods. Hey, you see how these bucks are reacting to these does. The more does you can keep around your stand, just feeding around, it increases your chances. So I love seeing these does. Well, here comes a buck. Here comes a buck. Here comes a good buck. Looks like about an 8-pointer. I can't tell. Let's let him get out in the field and see what happens. Oh, hold on. He's rubbing. He's actually a pretty nice 9-pointer. I've been sitting here all day watching that rub. This morning and now. Pretty cool to see a buck come and actually rub on it. I'm gonna get a little better look. I've got weeds and stuff between me and the vitals. Hey, this could be the same buck that made the scrape we saw on the way in. Here comes another deer. It is a doe. I'm gonna wait and see what happens, but I'm not gonna let that deer get to where I'm not shooting into the woods. This looks like a pretty mature buck. Look how much bigger the body is than the other deer we've seen. I think we're still going to see that buck again. He's chasing that small buck. Here they come. Get ready. He's coming. He's coming back right here. He's coming right back. Here comes a doe at the corner of the field. She's about to pop out. He's coming. Here he comes. Got him right now. Here he comes. Here he comes. You want him?
Yeah, I'm good.
I don't like taking running shots, but that's only about 60 yards. So I felt really confident with taking that shot. I mean, he's down. He's right there. I'm pretty fired up about it. Really cool this time of year, getting out here. You know, as normally as a bow hunter, and I don't get in the woods too much during gun season, to see the deer really in full rut. You know, rounding those does up, keeping an eye on them, making his rub. He was pulling soil away from the bottom of that tree. I mean, he was going through all the phases of rut. That's really cool to get to see all that. I've had a great season. I've got a freezer full of venison. Was able to take deer with my bow, deer with my muzzle loader, and now a deer with a rifle. I can't ask for much more. It's all about opportunities, and I've had some chances. And I'm really happy with how this season has turned out. Get ready, here's a doe. She's about to pop out. I've got one tag left. The one on the right. You want it?
Yeah.
I'm sitting here in my stand, and I had one tag left. I know I'm going to be processing deer because I've got a buck down. I figured, you know what? I can wrap it all up and end it up right here today and make it such a perfect season. Filled all my tags, burned my buck tag. Couldn't work out any better. We said when we parked out here, we came in, there's another truck. We know there's a hunter because we know this truck and we know they're hunters that have permission to hunt here. And they're hunting somewhere right over there. Both of these deer went straight down. I'm gonna be a courteous neighbor hunter here, and we're just gonna wait these out and see what pops out and not mess up their hunt. There's that other buck. That's a different buck though, because my buck, ours played right over here. I saw this buck this morning. People think when they shoot a deer, they run their chances for the rest of the night for a buck to show up. We've seen way more deer after 2 shots have been taken than before. A deer was shot right here, and I think he circled right here somewhere. Don't really need to do any blood trail, and we know it's right here. Yep, right here he is. Wow, he is in that briar bush. Look at that neck, look at that. I'm gonna try to drag him out here and see what we got. He is buried in here. Well, you know what? This is a perfect close to this deer season. You know, this is just a really nice, mature buck. I'm super happy with it. I think back about how this season progressed. Literally 500 or 600 yards on the other side of this cornfield is where I started bow hunting this year. Had some really cool encounters. Saw a couple of decent bucks down there, but I kept seeing the deer up on this end. Right before muzzleloader season, moved up here and realized that these deer are just loading in this little valley I'm in right now. Came up here, was able to take a couple does with my muzzleloader. Saw a buck or two, nothing I really wanted. Got into the firearm season, which, you know, a lot of times I don't have a buck tag come firearm season. Still had a buck tag and thought, you know what? It's getting too late in the year to pass up a mature buck like this. So to be able to take this and to fill my last tag with that doe, just caps it off. It was just a perfect year. So I couldn't be happier. It's the reason you deer hunt. You want the meat, but you want the experiences. And even if I wouldn't have got a buck this year, I would have still had a great year. It's about the time in the deer stand, enjoying all the things you see and just being a part of wildlife and Mother Nature. Just a beautiful year, and what a nice buck to finish it up with. Pockets of quail can be found throughout the state of Kentucky, but most of them can be found on landowners' properties that are willing to put in the work. So we're in Logan County here today doing a little small game hunting, and I'm with the right crew for that, right?
I hope so. That's what we're here for sure.
Small game program coordinator here. And John, everybody's farm looks just like this, doesn't it?
Oh, right.
Everybody
yeah, when you drive
keeps their
across the
farm.
state, they look just like this, don't they?
That's right. No, really, this is perfect for a small game, is it not?
Absolutely. This is a primo farm, and we've been working with Mike for a couple of years, and it's very rare that a landowner actually listens to some of the things we mentioned, and you're going to see a lot of great habitat today thanks to the work of Mike and his family and friends that come out here and work with him to make it look like this.
So Mike, tell me a little bit about your piece of property you got here. Obviously it looks like it was built for small game, but you told me you're mainly a deer and turkey guy.
I am. I do enjoy seeing the quail, seeing the small game, but when we started out with it, it was mostly deer and turkeys, but found out that what you do bleeds over into the small game too. Hopefully it seems to be working. We'll see.
We also have Zach Danks, and Zach, you're the turkey program coordinator as well as grouse.
When you put out plots like this and you let the CRP grow up for small game, what's your turkey population going to be like as well?
You'd be doing the best you could do to help that local population, and anything you can do. Quail management is turkey brood management, and if you want more turkeys, you got to have more baby turkeys, and this cover for nesting and brood rearing it's vital.
Let's go meet the dogs and load up. What do you think?
Let's do it.
All right,
Let's do it.
Let's go. Are you running beepers on these dogs if they go on point?
Not beepers, so I've got a GPS unit. It tells me when they stop, when they go on point. So there'll be times when they stop that I can't tell if they're stopped to use a bathroom or if they're actually pointing.
I got you.
But I'll have to be watching it and tell you.
It's so thick, I was wanting to see how you knew when one was on point.
Yep.
So I didn't realize you had GPS on them.
I run bells usually, but I've only got one bell now, so between the bells and the GPS. The beeper is handy. I have one on her, so we can use it if we need to.
Okay.
Oh, look at this nice ragweed strip. This is your food source, mixed in with the cover. Hey, John, look for May up there, 52 yards from me. It's just saying she stopped, right to your left.
What you got, man? What you got, girl? What you got?
Raina, too. One of them, May broke, it looks like. 33 to blue. He broke.
This is wild bird hunting here. They'll run on the ground and take off on you some. This is really, really, really thick, but you can see that there is an area in the bottom where you can tell that the very bottom undergrowth is kind of missing. And this is perfect habitat for quail. They can get in here, areas to feed, but yet there's a cover, a canopy that keeps aerial predators from coming down and picking them all off. Everything wants to eat a quail.
There's birdie right here. Looks like it.
At 41 yards, right up in the sumac.
Oh, she's on dead point.
Over there, Mike. She break?
She broke.
Man, this is pretty prime right through here.
Yeah, it looks perfect. Got a point?
Yep.
Where they at?
They're in here. Nothing?
You think these birds flew? Maybe we didn't see them or hear them, but
Might have been where they were. Who knows? So far, we're 0 for 3 on covey encounters. The law of averages would you eventually get one to fly.
well, you would think.
Habitat's ever changing. A lot of people just don't recognize how nature's constantly evolving and changing, and we're constantly trying to maintain cover.
So tell me a little bit about what you need for good quail habitat.
When we talk about bobwhite, we always talk about the bees. Bunch grasses. We got a bunch of bunch grasses behind us, those native warm season grasses. Bare ground. That's what Mike's making when he's burning. And part of what that burning does is diversify the plant community in different stages of plants. So he's resetting the plant community when he burns a patch, and that creates that opportunity to get that bug community in place. So if you get all those bees right, we'll have birds, and that's what we hope we find today.
Oh, this looks good.
Oh, they're in here.
Zach and I will go on the upper side. You guys stay down over here, and let's make a miracle happen. There you go.
How about that,
Now
guys?
that's what we're talking about right there, Mike.
Hey, mate. See it?
This bird is a juvenile. See those white tipped feathers here? These are the secondary coverts. And when they're white tipped, that's a juvenile. When they're fuller and completely gray when it's an adult. So it means it was hatched this summer.
We had 2 or 3 times when we thought we had birds. That last one held really tight. It was right in the corner. So as we make our way down here to this corner or that corner, I feel very comfortable that we're going to flush another covey of quail here. Dogs are working good. Oop, deer, look at all of them. Tails going everywhere.
That's the thing about this cover is the deer are secure here 365. You know, I mean, they just come out to eat a little bit, come back, bed in this, go in the woods.
Dog still on point?
Yep, she's 49 yards up ahead there.
Oh, did you get one down?
Yeah.
Nice.
Right.
It's a little late getting up here on that. We had all 3 dogs on point, and as we come over the ridge here, the covey flushed. I think we got one down. Let's go see.
Dead. Got it? Good girl.
Well, that is a beautiful bird. I tell you what, you never get sick of seeing those dogs on point walk over and hear that flush.
Yeah, it's a special moment in the hunting world.
It really, really, truly is. Turkeys, turkeys, turkeys.
Oh, if it was fall turkey season, Mike, we might have to switch gears.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, we got a point here.
Double point, they're in there.
There they go!
I will never do that again.
Mike, I couldn't even pick my bird. Every one I picked was going down.
I killed 3.
You got 3?
I did. I knocked down 3 birds. I'll never do it in my life again.
Mike,
All right, Raina, right here, Raina.
there's one.
There you go, right there. She's got one right here.
Yeah, that one got hit really hard.
Dead, blue, dead. Here's one right here. Man,
That
way
was
to go,
awesome.
dude.
Holy cow.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think that was a pretty good day. It's been a long time since I flushed coveys of quail. And your all's dogs did great. Mike, it's obvious that all your habitat work is paying off.
Well, I hope so. It makes me feel pretty good to have a day like this.
Fisheries biologists are working hard at Land Between the Lakes to remove cedar trees, which not only helps the wildlife, but also improves the fisheries habitat.
So we're here on the shores of Lake Barkley today, and we're engaged in a fish habitat project. Specifically, we're trying to improve the shoreline fish spawning habitat. This project is actually a big partnership between multiple agencies. So our agency, TWRA down in Tennessee, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, the U.S. Forest Service, as well as a lot of local angler groups. It's all part of a big grant which was awarded from a federal fund called the National Reservoir Fisheries Habitat Partnership. So they provide funding for basically improving fisheries habitat in reservoirs across the country. And in this case, Lake Barkley was chosen as the top project, so they were able to fund all the material purchases for this project. So what we're doing today is we're adding what we're calling laydowns. So we're taking trees, cutting them from the Land Between the Lakes National Forest Service area. And then we're placing those along the shoreline at a lower water elevation, so they'll be available to fish earlier in the springtime as TVA and the Corps of Engineers bring the lake up to summer pool. The main goal for this project is to improve the bass spawns at Lake Barkley. That's where we've been struggling the most in recent years. So that's where the habitat is really kind of designed for, but it'll also be used by any species within that same family, the centrarchid family. That includes a lot of our sport fish, bluegill, red ear, crappie. All of them are going to be using this habitat for spawning. So far this morning, we've done about 15 laydowns on the opposite bank over here. Now we've switched banks, ready to work our way down every 30 to 40 feet, placing one of these laydowns. Now this tree is a hickory. I chose it because it's a hardwood. It's going to last a lot longer. It doesn't have very many branches on it. Bass like simple cover. They don't like too many branches. We get a lot of questions about whether an individual angler is allowed to place habitat or fish structure into Kentucky Lake or Lake Barkley. And in our case, we're allowed to do this work because we have special permits from U.S. Army Corps of Engineers as well as the U.S. Forest Service, which allow us to cut these trees and to place them in the water at specific locations. One of the things that we're doing to evaluate the success of this kind of habitat is we're doing weekly snorkel surveys on a subsection of these sites during the springtime. We've done that over the past 2 years to see whether fish are actually using this habitat to spawn. And encouragingly, about 50% of these sites at our testing zone have been used by bass to spawn in a particular year. Nearly 100% of these sites will be used by sunfish to spawn. So it's tough to say whether we'll see an actual improvement in the catch rates of anglers over time, but it is a new project that we are trying to improve those catch rates with.
Now let's check in and see who else has been out having fun in this week's Ones That Didn't Get Away. Check out this beautiful buck with a nice drop tine that was taken by 14-year-old Landon Walker. This buck was taken in Harrison County. Ella Tabor harvested this nice buck in Nicholas County with a 6.5 Creedmoor. She said she was eating venison snack sticks when this buck showed up. Here we have Martin Gambrel with a nice 8-point buck that he took in Morgan County. Congratulations. Hopefully you had a productive deer season and punched that buck tag. And remember, hunting and fishing on private property is a privilege. Always ask permission and thank the landowner. Until next week, I'm your host, Chad Miles, and I hope to see you in the woods or on the water.